So here's the little Oliver plow I got. One bottom on steel. A little different than I used last time. Using the 77 standard this time. Just a beauty. Just a beautiful tractor. The last time I plowed this field, there's a row of trees here and I got potatoes. I rolled it that way. So I kept going down each side. So I left a big gully in the middle. So I'm going to start in the middle and fill the gully up. I did not plow this year yet, so that's why it's so weedy. So we'll see what we can do with it. Should be about right here. Must be set. Must be set. Real high. We'll have to do this again. Alright, let's drop her again. This time we're gonna plow. Found a stone. It's tightened up already. So I'm going to flip it that way into the other one. It'll kind of fill the hump up. See how the drawbar is set. Now we're going in the dead furrow. Seems okay. Could be over to the right more, but the big stone. Okay, I'm doing a little adjusting here. I don't know how good a coulter is for being set, but it keeps swinging over to here and grabbing in here and getting stuck. So I'm going to move this over so it can't do that. It might have been put this way so it can't go over too far that way, maybe to keep it on track, but just pulling it should keep it where it needs to be. So that should be adjusted with this. Some of the mounted ones I've seen have chains on them, but I see no need for it to having it go that far over, so I'm gonna put it there. Did you know this is a hammer? I have to put it pretty tight too. If you grunt, then you got it tight. So now it can only go this far, but it can swing that way. So that'll solve that problem. I sprayed some PB Blaster in here in the threads. I'll put it down one, but I do want to tip this upside down. I'll have to take this out, turn it, otherwise water will go in here. Let's see why you wouldn't want it down. Well, the coulter blade is set pretty decent, I think. Should I mount the camera right here? I don't think so. here, it jumped right out of the ground and raised itself, so I had to spin around and come back to redo it. That was a little bit of a pain in the butt. So I still think the rooster comb lift is more consistent in lifting, at least as far as pulling the lever is always the same. They're very distoned. Bad driving. It's coming out of the furrow. Alright, I'm gonna quit for the night. It's getting dark. Isn't that a beautiful tractor? There's that color and that color and that color and that color. It's gorgeous. For anyone that might not know what this is an Oliver 77 standard. We have a 66, 77, and 88 in standards. But like most of them, they all need some work. This one's always run really well since I got it. I used to pull it. It had bigger tires in the back. We swapped out the tires and wheels for a more appropriate size for it because they were too big in the back. But it's just one of those tractors that just always worked good. Right now it's a little doesn't seem like it's hitting on all six all the time, but it's also got old gas, so it could just be that. So nice runner, even though it might not look like much. The plow is a little one bottom clutch lift. I'll have to figure out the number on it. So here's all it's doing. I slid the drawbar over a little bit that way to get the plow to bite a little bit more. That's pretty good. For 77, it's not really a struggle for it. Coulter seems to be set pretty good because it's getting a pretty nice edge. Looks like it's cutting here, and then this is the land side. But you know, you'd think a one bottom would not want to stay in the ground, but it does if it's adjusted right. So here was the other day, and then here's the finisher up today. One thing that's nice about a one bottom, so it's really weedy. I mean, this is, you know, chest high pretty much. If you got a real wide plow, all this stays up. If you got a one bottom, you're always driving on it. You're driving it here, 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 because you're taking such a small little path, a small swat, so that might help it go through the plow better. You know, because most of this stuff is already pushed down. Or help it from not sticking up. If it sticks up, it'll stick out of the plowing. Well, here it's already pushed down, so it's just getting rolled right in. day today. Last time I plowed it was just humid as hell. So humidity went down the day after. We were camping all weekend, so it's now Labor Day today. And I'm getting back at her. Should have her finished up pretty soon. Alright, this is probably the last swat on this side I can do before my tires hit those posts. I might remove the post, or I'll just stop there. Not sure. Alright, so here's what I'm doing now. I'm disking what I plowed here. I plowed the headlands, as you can see. I'm just trying to smoothen it out a little bit. And I got some weeds over there I gotta take care of. Wherever I didn't get with the plow. I couldn't get in the corner here. Just too close to the corn. I didn't knock any corn over. That's pretty good. But I might opt for the tiller, I'm not sure. Just on this pipe in the ground. This is an Oliver disc. It's like a horse-drawn one. They have wheels on the front. I took the wheels off so they wouldn't dig in. It's a pain in the butt. This would be old one, you'd sit on it and work your horses with it. But I did find out it is an Oliver. Could stand someone to sit on the seat. Maybe like Ross the Oliver man could sit on there. Or maybe Chris Losey. Whichever one is sassier could sit on the seat. But I found this rock that'll fit in there real nice for weight. It's pretty heavy stone. Seems to lock right in there so it doesn't come off. Pruning does an okay job, but not real good if it's real weedy because it doesn't cut in very good. But once you get the ground kind of work like this, it does pretty good. It's okay for what it is. It doesn't do a real good job of cutting through the weeds, especially if they're older and thicker. But you go over enough times, it'll get it. I actually have a use for this pipe. I'll show you in a bit. I'll basically run in the tractor. This thing hasn't run real good like this in a couple years, so this tractor always ran strong. Used to pull it. Remember in clay track, it got the front wheels up off the ground. Real strong. So these potatoes here were like my overflow. I had some in the basement in spring sprouting. I planted what I wanted in the garden, my regular garden, and I still had some left, so it's like, well, what do I do with them? Just throw them out? No, I put them in the ground. And I planted these 4th of July weekend, so it's pretty late, but I'm just kind of experimenting with the Colorado potato beetles, potato bugs. I'm not a fan of them. I had heard that if you plant later, they won't find them as easy. So I have not had one on any of these yet. There's about 200 plants out here. So this seems to be holding true, and they're gonna get a drink probably tonight. So instead of throwing this pipe out, I actually needed one. I was gonna go to the hardware store for one. And here's what I needed it for. For hooking the camper up here, I got these things for the sway bars for the weight distribution hitch. And I would always put a crescent wrench on here to tighten it up when you're tightening it down, but a pipe works well. So now I have a pipe. Must be my lucky day. So here's my regular garden. I got a row of potatoes, a double row here, and then a row all the way up. Two rows here. And these were planted Memorial Day weekend, so they had about a little over a month extra growing. So these are bigger, but I had a lot of potato bugs on them. I was picking every other day for a while. And what I learned about them is they all hibernate during winter. So if you don't get rid of them, they will go into the ground in fall, hibernate, and then there they are in spring. I'm trying to find one. They're drying down now, the potatoes, so there's probably not going to be many of them. But then they like to lay eggs, larvae, and then they hatch and they just take over the whole thing. They'll destroy your whole crop. What I do is I put a little bit of water in a 5-gallon pail and a little bit of Dawn dish soap so it bubbles when you put the water in, and then just let them fall into the pail, get the pail underneath, and just knock them in, and then they drown in a matter of seconds. I think they get under the bubbles, and the bubbles don't let them get air, so you don't really even need a chemical for them. But you just gotta pick them every other day or something. Just keep up with them. There's one. The adults have the stripes on the back, and those would be the ones that would lay the eggs. I don't know how long it takes for them to hatch or anything, but see, he's eating the leaf. This one's gonna get squashed. There, you can't do that anymore. Yeah, a little weedy in here, but you know, once it your stuff grows out so much, I mean, look how far the potatoes are. The row is like over here, and they just branch right out. It's hard to till. You almost need someone ahead of you to push the leaves in. The potatoes, once they blossom, they start drying up. They'll actually use the vine, and they grow the potatoes with the vine. So once you get past the blossoming point, they start turning yellow, and they'll dry up like this. And they're feeding the potatoes under in the ground. Here's carrots. We got tomatoes, which need to be picked. All the sunflowers I got, they all came up volunteer. With onions. Yeah, these all came up in spring, and girlfriend wanted to keep them, so I'm like, well, we'll just leave them here. I'll just till around them. So they're pollinating. I'll leave them be. Finally starting to get some ripe ones. I'll have to pick them. You want to get them off of there so that it feeds the green ones and the new ones. These here are volunteer pumpkins. I didn't plant them either. They actually last fall when I plowed this. It'd be like October. I had made a video of that, and I don't think, it might not have been when I was plowing, but we had pumpkins for Halloween, and we threw them in here and they were sitting on top, and probably when I tilled in the spring, they planted. Look at that. There was a whole row of them, 2 rows, but I thinned them out a little bit because they were touching each other. I mean, it's early already for, I had some orange ones a few weeks ago already. Some beans. You see, here's what I mean. Look how long these vines are, and then they just droop over and you can't till or anything. Here's a nice one. I should probably pick them, and it would fill out some of the other ones. Compost pile, I gotta have them. Yeah, here too, we planted this grass. We wanted to like even out the grass because the garden was like, it was like parallel with the road but not the driveway, or perpendicular. So these things came up in our seeding, so it's like, well, we'll leave them grow. Just cut around them. See what it's doing, going from one to the next. Bees are good, people. Wasps and hornets, not so much. Got some like fiery ones up here. They're getting pollinated right now. Some red ones.